You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge.
Oh, sorry. What's up, y'all? What's going on? We back at it again. It's another Saturday. Oh boy, I am trying to get in that special feeling, but we got a lot of madness going on this week, man. First of all, March Madness is in full effect. But before we talk about that, we got a lot of madness going on with Deshaun Watson. Lord have mercy. Where has this guy gone from up here to woo woo? Man, we got madness in the NFL. NFL free agency don't took effect. We got madness in the NBA. Trade deadline on its way. All these teams trying to decide, am I a contender? Am I a pretender? We'll see. Shoot, we got madness with the Atlanta Hawks. They actually got a winning streak going. Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks, a winning streak. Same sentence. We got madness with the Greek freak. Something going on with him. We got madness all over the sports world. So guess what? Me, my boys, Rev, and the coach, we're very happy to discuss it. So let's get started, making us happy, discussing this madness, bringing joy and happiness to our fans. Episode 181. Let's not waste any more time. Let's begin.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show featuring Coach Patrick Thomas. We're coming to you live from the ATL Show. Give me your real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what, gentlemen? Real sports. So come on and hang out with your boys for the next couple of hours. Red, Rev, and Coach, as we have episode 181 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. If we can get Red to put his camera back the way it was, that'd be greatly appreciated. But here it is, Coach. What you got for us for 181?
All right. Good morning, everybody. Episode 181. I got a guy who he wore the number 81 proudly, and he was one of the best. Or in his mind, he thinks he is the number one wide receiver of all time. But hey, we know who's number one. But in his mind, he said he's number one. That is one Mr. 81, one Randy Moss, who is the self-proclaimed number one in his fragile mind. But Randy, don't let me talk about you, son. You good, great, but you wasn't Jerry Rice. But number 181 goes to Randy Moss. He was a talented athlete, though. Great wide receiver. Randy Moss.
One Randy Moss, where now the phrase is coined when somebody gets done in by a wide receiver, you've gotten mossed. Yeah. All right. We're going to see if Red's going to stay on this time.
My bad, man. My bad, fellas. I don't know what's going on, man.
That's with that camera, brother. All right. Good.
Yeah, I got Coach. I think some of Coach's internet problems went to my phone, man.
Yeah, man. You're looking real Cricket wireless this morning. All right.
Let me get back in. I got to get ready now. All right, episode 181. I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, Coach, right. Randy Moss was your number today?
Yeah, that was. Randy Moss. All right, let's see you saying good morning to us. Good morning, Chris Traylor. What's going on, brother? What's up, Shelby McDonald?
Shelby.
And Kelly, I don't know if we'll see you. I know Coach is not looking forward to seeing Kelly.
Kelly!
I know that's one thing. Yeah, what's up? Hey, we want to say happy birthday to Kelly, but she's not here yet, so maybe she'll chime in. Good morning, Miss Sylvia Harris.
Miss Harris.
Yeah, that is true, Coach. Randy was 84.
He wore 81 at one point. Yeah. I'm serious. He wore 81 at one point.
What team would that have been?
I think he had 81. He wore 81 with the Patriots, I think.
He's with the Patriots.
Oh, with the Patriots. Okay.
Yes,
all right. We'll give you a pass on that. Vincent Woodruff, Evan, wishing Kelly happy birthday. Yep, you got Moss. What's up, Armani? Yep. We're going to move in from there. All right. Vincent Woodruff knows his friend, I guess. All right. Red, subscribe to that Mississippi Mobile. Thomas is checking in from the Bareback Saber-Tooth Tiger Rodeo and Sasquatch Symposium in Saskatoon, Canada.
All these towns, I'm gonna start looking some of these towns up. Do these cities actually exist?
Oh man, this dude's off the chain. What's up, Vincent Woodruff? Good morning, man. Good morning to Joe Black, man. We actually talking about coming to your city, man, to do episode 200. Stay tuned. We're gonna need your assistance. I honestly thought Coach was referring to T.O. Okay. And Amani fact checking you too, Coach.
He was 81. That's where I got it from.
For the Patriots. He was 81 for the Patriots.
All right. So Coach got saved by Amani. Yeah. All right, everybody. Huh?
I told him that. I said he was 81 for the Patriots.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for validating it. All right, everybody. Welcome to the. I'm up here thinking about to do my prayer session. How about to say welcome to Eminem Prayer? If you want to join it, feel free, man. Midday Monday through Saturday at midnight. But it's not Eminem Prayer. It's the Red and Rev Sports Show, episode 181. We look forward to having a great show. Fans, feel free to chime in. Put your thoughts, put your comments. We got a full show on today. Got so many topics to talk about. Of course, we're going to hit that March Madness. We're going to talk a little bit football, some hot topics, NFL free agency, of course, situation going on with Deshaun Watson. We'll hit that up in the second half. But the first half, we're going to deal with March Madness. But before we get into that, we got to do it Red and Rev Sports Show style featuring Coach. We have to start the show off with Dope, Nope, and our Cope section. All right, Coach, it's on you, brother. What are you doping on, sir?
Well, my dope moment goes to a guy that I met back a while back. His name is Coach Bob Huggins. He became the 6th D1 coach to 900 wins. Imagine how long you got to coach to get 900 wins in college basketball. West Virginia won their first game in the NCAA tournament. So big ups to Bob Huggins, 900 wins, baby.
Oh, yeah. All right, Red, what are you doping on, sir?
I'm doping on. Can't believe I'm doping on him, but hey, you gotta call a spade a spade. I'm doping on LeBron and Maverick Carter becoming part owners of the Red Sox. And I think that's cool for two brothers to become part owners of that particular organization. They let those two black guys in that organization. That's cool. LeBron's definitely on his way to his goal of becoming an NBA owner, but it's good he's getting his foot in the door. But my only regret is that he don't know anybody in Liberty Media, so he could have been part owner of my Braves and actually could have been a complete owner of my Braves, so we can actually get a real owner. But anyway, that's still cool. You're using your money wisely, LeBron, making good investments.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
And I'm doping on what I said you had the right to do on last Saturday. And I told Coach Patrick Ewing and the Georgetown Hoyas, along with the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, they had the right to win their respective conference championships. And they did just what I told them they had the right to do. So my dope moment goes to Georgetown Hoyas, the Big East tournament champions, and also the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, the ACC tournament champions. I'm doping on them on today.
Awesome.
All right. Red, move forward. What are you noping on, sir?
I'm noping on high school phenom Mikey Williams. This guy talking about he's going to the gym instead of going to his prom. And Dame Dollar, felt so bad for him. He had to intervene and tell the kid to be smart and go to your prom. And I'm adding on to that. Dude, be smart. You get 1, maybe 2 proms in your lifetime. You a high school phenom. Probably going to have all the babes in the world on your jock that night. Dude, be smart. Get your tux. Clean yourself up that night and go to your prom. Mikey Williams, don't be talking about you going to no gym on the night everybody gonna be at the prom. Don't be so lame, man. Okay, go to your prom. Listen to Dame Dollar. Listen to Red. Go to your prom. Thanks.
Oh, come on!
All right, and I am noping on the NCAA giving the women poor treatment when it comes to their facilities in comparison to the men's facilities when it comes to workout equipment. It looked like a classic difference between the gym at LA Fitness versus somebody's garage. And the NCAA ought to be ashamed of themselves for not hooking up the women the way they did. The men, that has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with anything but just truly not valuing women working out. So therefore, the facilities that the women have at their disposal where they are playing their NC tournament games does not come anywhere close to what the men are working with in Indiana, and the NCAA ought to be ashamed. And big ups to the women, both the players as well as the college coaches who are women and men calling out the NCAA for that foolishness. Coach, what are you noping on?
Thank you for taking my note, Red.
I told you that was one of yours. I knew it. That's the one I was talking about. I knew it.
You ahead of the game. Okay, let's see. My note moment will probably go to it's gonna go to the Pittsburgh Steelers Facebook fan page, because before Juju Smith-Schuster signed with them, they called him anything but a child of God. Now signed with them, and now all of a sudden they flipping the script. Oh, he's the greatest wide receiver. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. No. Stay your course. You talked about him like a dog until the man decided to re-sign. Now all of a sudden you his best buddy. Stop it.
No!
All right, you're giving a note to his fan base. Goodness gracious, I didn't see that one coming. All right, what am I coping on between this show and last show? Marvelous Marvin Hagler passed away, and he was a great boxer. I'll never forget the fight that he and Sugar Ray Leonard had, which was a classic, even though he lost that fight. But Marvelous Marvin Hagler had charisma, was a great boxer, and definitely someone who was an icon within professional boxing. And rest in peace to Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Coach, what are you coping on?
Well, I hope the so-called basketball conference can cope with all the losses they took in the first round of the NCAA tournament, the ACC. They pitched a shutout in the first round of not the ACC tournament, the NBA tournament, and I thought you all were the number one conference for basketball in the country, but looking at your first round, that title is going to be taken away from you pretty soon, because all of your teams pretty much lost, starting with my boys, North Carolina. So ACC, I hope you can cope with not being the basketball conference.
All right, Red, what are you coping on?
On NBA TV last night, I mean, good Lord, dude. I thought your coaching style was boring. Your NBA analysis was even more boring. I mean, good Lord. Talk about I almost fell asleep like 2 or 3 times trying to watch NBA highlights last night. And then he had a nerve to say, when he was looking at the Phoenix Suns highlights and watching what's the dude, Money Williams, get ejected, saying, gee, I never got ejected once in my coaching career. Maybe I should have got emotional. Maybe I should have got ejected. Yeah, maybe you should have. You think, coach? God. Woo. Anyway, yeah, stay right there. That's exactly where you belong. Sitting right up on that desk on the NBA TV talking about what you should have did. Anyway. Done.
All right. All right. We've been doping, noping, and coping. Let's see what the fans been doping, noping, and coping on today. Let's see who we'll start with. Thomas with classic Thomas. Somebody prayed for Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts is a church school, so there you go right there. Shelby's doping on Oral Roberts and Sister Jean. I knew Georgia Tech was in trouble because they had divine intervention on their side, Loyola of Chicago. Once I saw Sister Jean was in the picture, I didn't see Georgia Tech passing the first round. Huggy Bear was the man when he was up here in Cincy. Yeah, my cousin lived in Cincinnati, went to Princeton High School, and loved him some Cincinnati when Huggins was there. Thomas is doping on Uncle Nate is getting the ship right with the Hawks. All right, we'll talk about that later. Joe Black is doping on Jackson State University football. It's obvious coach didn't have the same dope. Shelby McDonald, Britt Reed is noping on Britt. Reed is still not in jail. And that's Andy Reid's son, who I was was drunk and really injured somebody. And they didn't die, did they?
No, she's still alive.
She's still alive, yeah, but still, that's wrong. Sister Sylvia Harris is doping on Patrick Ewing and the Georgetown Hoyas for their surprise victory in the Big East tournament. Joe Black, noping on the Falcons video tribute to Breed. He got that serious Saints hate, boy. I tell you. Shelby noping on the facilities for women's NCAA tournament. Vincent Woodruff noping on Mark Emmeret and his so-called equality and togetherness for NCAA athletes. Thomas Holcomb, apparently the NCAA didn't think the women were worth their weight.
Here you go.
Play on words. Accurate, great play on words. Joe Black coping on the max restructure means Matt Ryan will be QB for probably the next 2 to 3 years. Yeah, man, we'll talk about that in a second. Actually forgot about that topic. Even if they did for the women half of what they did for the men, it would have been better than that Fisher-Price gym they provided for the women. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Shelby McDonald has a coach for her Red and Red Sports Show, boo. Coach will have to cope with Kelly and Jackson.
Shelby.
And Vincent Woodruff said big facts. All right. Sister Harris noping on the NCAA for the disparities in the culinary delights in the men's and women's tournaments. So basically it went beyond just the weight room and went into the kitchen as well. Shelby said ACC got embarrassed in the tournament. Also, the Big Ten did too. They had the 2 highest seed to fall short, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's see. Joe Black also coped. Brackets everywhere busted. Thanks, Oral Roberts. No doubt about it. Man, we got it. Thomas Holcomb coped. Matt Ryan still survives. Sylvia Harris coped. Kelly possible absence today.
Yeah, you like it was her birthday last night, Coach.
And Sister Jean is 1-on-1. This is her year. Okay.
What?
Let's see. NCAA, no cooperation at all. All right. All right, gentlemen, let's get ready to dive into these sports topics that we're talking. Of course, we can't start this show without talking March Madness.
Only touch the March.
It is March Madness, full swing. March Madness, and we're talking about a topic. It's college basketball, in which we hardly touched the entire year. But now you can't help but touch it because everybody's in the March Madness due to the brackets and who will be crowned the next NCAA champion. All right, we got to start with the main upsets on day one. You had Ohio State go down. You had Purdue go down. And Ohio State was a number 2 seed, and Purdue was a number 4 seed. So what are your thoughts right now with the brackets being busted? If you had Ohio State going to the Final Four, as I did in one of my brackets, that bracket is pretty much done. Nevertheless, I'm going to start with Coach. You're the college basketball aficionado, because you're about the only one who watched college basketball regularly out of us 3 during the course of the year. What do you think about those upsets that took place on day one?
Well, you look at Ohio State, who started coming on, they say, in the Big Ten, and they thought Ohio State was going to be one of the teams just like you and then a whole lot of people that they would kind of run the table a little bit. But Oral Roberts basically said, hey, what we got to do, they had the number 1 scorer in the NBA. I mean, not the NBA, NCAA, Max Abmas, who put up 30, 29.
Hold up, coach. Hold up, coach. Hold up. Kelly has just arrived. Kelly has just arrived. Won't y'all, man, show her some birthday love? Happy birthday to Kelly.
Kelly.
Come on, show Kelly some
Happy
birthday love.
Happy birthday to
Happy birthday,
you.
Kelly.
Oh,
Showing us some happy birthday love. One of our main fans. We got to pause just to say happy birthday to you, Kelly. We were looking for you. And we're glad that you arrived. We don't know how long you're going to be with us. But happy birthday, Kelly. Happy birthday.
Kelly, you gotta come on now. Kelly, you gotta come on now.
Get your hair done, your hair slayed.
Yeah, Kelly needs to come on doing her. Kelly, you need to come on doing your birthday dance.
All right, Kelly, we're showing you love. So when we go in on you about Georgia Tech football, you can't say we hate. We participate in your good times as well. All right. Happy birthday to you, Kel. We don't know what you're up to, but if you want to come on the show, you're more than welcome. Not only talk birthday talk, but to bless Coach with some analysis from last week's football game.
Birthday talk is.
Oh, she wants on. She wants on. Here we go, Kelly. We coming to you. I'm about to send you a link. Coach, go ahead on, talk some more about the upsets, and then we're going to take a birthday break just for Kelly. And I know she has some information for you, Coach. But go ahead on with your upset analysis. I'm coming to you, Kelly. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got Oral Roberts who, like I said, they decided, look, they went out there and had nothing to lose, which is right. Every team really should play. You play like, hey, the guy said, like Alma said, they put their pants on one leg at a time like we do. So, hey, what do we have to lose? So they went out there, executed the game plan, hung around with Ohio State, and then ended up beating them. So Ohio State, highly ranked. They left the coach in tears last night, but now how far Oral Roberts goes, who knows? They could be that Cinderella team this year. There's always one that sneaks through the cracks and comes out and shows how far they can go playing with nothing to lose. So maybe it's Oral Roberts. Or maybe it's the Mean Green from North Texas. They won last night. They could be that team that comes out of there. So those two teams, North Texas and Oral Roberts, those are your Cinderellas so far. Okay, would there be more upsets today? Oh, yeah. Somebody's going to get picked off again today. And I know who it's going to be.
All right, we're going to get to that a little later. Red, any thoughts, any surprises about the upsets?
Other than Georgia Tech being done in by that doggone woman and her little ramblers from Loyola Chicago. Other than that, I ain't too upset about nothing. But I was very upset about that. So
well, let's talk about it real quickly because actually Georgia Tech got stung by COVID.
Yeah, it was bad. We were missing our best player, Moses, right? And that's the real reason we lost. Not no Sister Jean. Sister Jean had nothing to do with us losing. Okay, I ain't trying to get them guys from Loyola none of that magic they had from last season. They're going to get put out in the next round, and Sister Jean and her Ramblers will be out of our lives for good. So, sorry, I'm hating on Sister Jean today. You beat my team, and you only beat them because we got hit with the COVID case. Because Moses Wright wasn't there. So, look, good job, Loyola, but you're going down Sunday, okay? And then you and Sister Jean can go back in your hibernation, back to where we never hear about you, during the year until this time come around. So, enjoy your little win, because after Sunday, you're going to be gone for good. Now, other than that, my bracket got busted like everybody else. I see Oregon State beat Tennessee. It was one more upset, and Rutgers beat Clemson, but I don't know how good Clemson is. Coach probably tell me that, but it looked like North Texas and Oral Roberts did have the biggest victory so far. Now what it means for the tournament going forward, I have no idea because I have no idea how good North Texas and Oral Roberts really are. They could have just got lucky one game, and Ohio State and Purdue could have just choked. So I guess the next game will tell us something. If they can make it to the Sweet 16, then I'll start maybe putting a second eye on them. But for right now, just one eye. Not impressed so far. For all I know, it was just Ohio State and Purdue choking their brains out, just like my team did, just like a lot of teams did. So you guys got lucky on the first day of the tournament. We'll see what you do in the second game. If you win the second game, then and only then will I give you props for making a Sweet 16 appearance.
All right, Red, you're getting hit hammered by the fans, man. They talking about you talking blasphemy. You better remember that Sister Jean walks with the Lord, and we don't know. Maybe that intervention came through. That's why Tech is no longer.
You think Georgia Tech don't have no fans that are religious too? Like they don't have instead of Sister Jean, they got Mother Mary or some of these other ladies down south who are Georgia Tech fans. I'm not acting like Sister Jean, the only religious sports basketball fan in this country. Not when she beat my team. Sorry, Sister Jean may walk on water, but right now she can go walk on Kool-Aid.
We're going to pray for Red now. If Red comes up missing next week, the power of Sister Jean might intervene. Red, better be careful. The Bible says, touch not my anointing.
Wait a minute. I got the power of Sister Harris protecting me, and I'm sure
Sister Harris saying you blaspheming Sister Jean, so she disconnected from you. She said you on your own with that one.
I thought you was a Sister Harris. Okay, y'all wanna sell me out and ride the Sister Jean bandwagon? Go right ahead.
Put some respect.
I'll find my own religious ladies in Atlanta that'll support me because I know there's some religious ladies in Atlanta that are mad that Georgia Tech lost, and I'm gonna find them and I'm gonna commiserate with them. Y'all gonna sell me out for Sister Jean, a woman y'all ain't never met before?
That joker used commensurate on her. All right, Red. Vincent said the Yellow Jackets denied Peter 3 times. It was a wrap.
Hey, bitch, what part of the Bible you read? The Yellow Jackets.
Take that anointing oil over there to Red. Shelby says, stay away from Red. Lightning might strike when his computer sparks. Yeah.
Oh my God.
She said, look at Shelby in the balloon. He wants you to spell commensurate, Red. All right, man. We're not gonna hold the birthday girl any longer. Come on, Kelly Nicole. Happy birthday.
Woo! Yeah.
Kelly Nicole is in the house, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Nicole has blessed us with her presence on her birthday. How does it feel to have another year of life?
I'm thankful always. I'm blessed.
All right. You're looking blessed. You're looking like you had a great birthday. Coach is trying to have some technical difficulties over there.
You want to get off the computer? Coach, I wore an outfit, but I had to.
Matter of fact, let's do it like this, Kelly. I'm going to remove me and Red so you and Coach can have a 3-minute conversation.
Oh, y'all gonna do it like
that? No, it ain't going to be like that.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Kelly Kel.
How you been?
All right. My favorite orchestra leader. How's it going?
It's going good. Coach, you said it was 3. Did you say 3 points? You said it was gonna be by a field goal.
I did.
What happened?
Well, first of all, I look at it as this: that boy at quarterback, Jones, he turned out to be very legit. At quarterback, I didn't think he could throw, and then I did not know just by looking at it that our corners would undergo growth hormone testing, and then like 6'2" wide receivers were jumping all over, and I just sat there and said, "Lord, what is this? What is this?"
I honestly didn't think it would be that bad, but yeah, I felt like we was gonna win. Not Not trying to like toot no horn or nothing like that. I just thought that we were gonna win, honestly, because that's like our flagship school that we always beat. I'm no shade. I promise you, it's no shade, but we do always beat y'all up for real.
But you look at it, you toot your own horn. I would toot my horn at 3.
But I'm just saying, though, we do beat y'all all the time.
You do, just in football, though. We're just taking in football.
Yeah, it's back and forth in basketball. I give y'all that. Basketball, y'all kind of, yeah. Valley has a good lineage in basketball, but football is like, yeah.
Yeah, y'all boys.
Even when we at our sorries,
but guess what? You know who I wanted to get?
What?
The part of the game I laughed at when we fumbled and the big boy picked up the ball and did the dance in the end zone. I almost bust my TV up then. I was like, what? No, boy ain't dancing. Yeah. I said, because I mean, we did. I saw bright spots though.
Yeah, I admit that. I saw improvement. And like I said, I went to school with Vince, so it's no shade, that you want them to see, people that do well. So it was no shade. I don't want y'all to beat us, but
yeah. So let me ask you this. How y'all think y'all gonna do against Bama State today? I think they undefeated.
I don't know. It's back and forth between us and Alabama State. They've been mouthy online.
Of course.
We're always mouthy though. We could be like the worst team in the SWAC, and we gonna talk John. So it's Jackson State on Jackson State. That's what we do. So I don't know. I see improvements. I feel like we need to play four quarters, because we struggled with that last week. Even though it was like 30-0 in the first half, we didn't score much in the second half. We scored one time. So there are some concerns, but other than that.
Well, like I said, you didn't score in the second half also because Coach made some subs and he put Sanders put some subs in there, and our defense is, well, like I said, they have improved, but our cornerbacks are terrible. We got to find some cornerbacks somewhere. The defensive line was smooth, and we also got to figure out what we gonna do because we got inside the 20 on y'all 3 or 4 times and didn't score. So we got to find it somewhere. But
Kelly, let me intervene because Coach is softening up this conversation. That's what he's trying to do. I want to muddy it up a little bit more. What were your initial thoughts when you weren't on the show? You were getting your hair done. You were still watching the show. We appreciate it, But what were your initial thoughts when you heard Coach make that prediction his team was going to win by 3? What was your initial reaction last week?
That he was just riding for his team.
So he was being typical coach. Typical coach. Could not go against his team because
I wouldn't go against mine either. So I felt him on that. I think it was just complete team bias and call it a day. Like, Coach, like you knew you won. Y'all knew y'all weren't gonna do this. I'm just being honest, Coach.
All right. So now the game is going on. You're watching the game. You're starting to witness this blowout. Then what were your thoughts about what Coach said?
I wasn't expecting a blowout. I honestly wasn't. I wasn't expecting for them to blow them out like that. I thought we would win, and I didn't think it would be close, but I didn't think it would be like that. What happened to Red?
We had to move him because he's doing too much moving around. So we'll have to bring him back and just home. We got too much moving around. So, Coach, what were your thoughts while you're watching this blowout? When did Kelly first come to mind while you were watching the game?
Probably at halftime.
It had to be before then, Coach. We were 30-0 at the half. Okay, I'm gonna stop throwing shade. No.
We want all the shade. We want all the shade. We want to muddy it. When you get ready, Red, let me know. Go ahead, Coach.
The reason I said halftime because I was like, okay, it's getting closer and closer to the end of the game. Now I got to deal with Kelly. Help us, Lord. So let's see what happens.
I ain't do too bad. I ain't go in on you. I did not go in on you like y'all do me. I didn't do that like y'all do me.
No. That's for Georgia Tech.
Y'all go in on me like all the time. All the time. I was modest. I did not go like all the way in like I could have.
Well,
hey. I think it was like 43-7. So yeah.
But Kelly, what'd you think about the video that went viral? Somebody was just talking about it. Deion Sanders getting his praise on. Vincent Woodruff talking.
We do that all the time. Okay, this is what a lot of people think that he is like inspiring like the culture at Jackson State. And yes, he has some influence, but we do stuff like that all the time. We have gospel shows. The band do the gospel shows. So that you just saw authentic Jackson State.
Now, do y'all play it over the speaker like that?
Yeah, they do stuff like that.
I know bands play gospel music all the time. My daughter's Human Jukebox band, Southern, they play gospel music and all of that stuff. So I never heard it over the speaker because
they do stuff like that all the time.
Oh, really?
They just caught an authentic moment with Jackson State. Like that's us. That's what we do.
All right, and let me ask you this. Shelby says we were all concerned with Coach's well-being.
He cried in the car. Shelby, he cried in the car. You know that. He had a moment. You give you 43-7. He had a moment. He don't have to talk about it, but he had a moment.
Miss Harris says, Coach Sanders taking a page out of Sister Jean's Bible, Holy Dance.
Jean got us, man. Georgia Tech, man. Well, no, honestly, we was without one of the best players, so that was sad to see Georgia Tech go down. But
yeah, now one of the things I think you made a point. I saw one of your posts during the game, or maybe after the game, as you were remarking how well your team is doing, and y'all are not even playing your main recruits that have come in, so they won't be playing into the fall. So how is the Jackson State fan base really feeling right about now with the team being undefeated and then looking forward to the future?
It's mixed reviews. Some people think that he should keep who he's playing because they're doing well, but then it's like you don't know what the new recruits are gonna do. So I don't know. I don't know about the quarterback situation. I don't know if that guy is a senior or not, but he's doing really well right now. Okay.
Coach, last thing. Chris Traylor said during the game, instead of playing On Time God, they should have played Stomp.
See, I did not know. Okay, I did not throw no shade. That was not on me at all. I'm just.
He must think I'm Kirk Franklin.
That was so shady. That was so shady.
They should have played Stomp, man.
Why y'all do Coach like this? See, Coach, you see, I didn't have no dealings with that, Coach. I was.
Because that's what it was.
I'm a decent opponent, Coach. That was not me.
Oh man, that was hilarious, man. That was classy. All right, Kelly, last thing before we let you go, how are you spending your birthday? Tell us how, besides being on the Red Bull Sports Show, we're so thankful. And we're so thankful.
I was trying to go to Punch City Market rooftop. I think I might check that out. I don't know. So I'm gonna keep it low key. I don't do too much. So that's about it.
If we say happy birthday to you, then we have to definitely say happy birthday to your twin sister because you shared it.
She's not around.
Oh, she's not in Georgia?
No, she's in Georgia. She left to do something this morning, so I don't know. I ain't seen her. So
all right. Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us, talking to Coach, giving him a come to Jesus moment about his Mississippi Valley State team.
Yeah. Sorry, Coach, but not sorry.
And on behalf of the Red and Red Sports Show, we pray God's continued blessings upon your life, health, and strength. Continue to make a great difference for the work that you're doing in Atlanta Public Schools at David T. Howard Middle School.
Yes. DTHMS. I got to represent for my babies.
And keep on doing what you're doing. Thanks so much for coming on to the show today.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Everybody give it up for Kelly, Kel, Nicole. We definitely have to show us some love. Thank Kelly for coming on to the show on today. All right. Coach, you feel relieved it wasn't that bad, was it?
Yeah, I felt the burn.
You felt the burn?
Yeah, I felt the burn.
Now, what did you think about Chris Traylor saying they played the wrong selection during the
show? You look at Chris. Chris just made his last comment on the show. He will be blocked. There's a problem. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you, but you won't be back.
You said Chris is banned from posting on the show, huh?
It's okay, Chris. You made it.
Hey, man, that was one of the funniest moments ever on the Red and Red Sports Show where that man said they should play stuff. Next time I hear that song, I guarantee you I'm going to think about Mississippi Valley State versus Jackson State. There will never be a day that goes by that I will not think about it. That stop reference right there, man. That was classic. And Coach, Chris wanted you to know it's not hate, Coach. I love you, sir.
I love you, Chris, but you won't be posting. I'm just playing.
Vincent says Chris is in Red and Red jail right now. All right, Red, you okay over there, man? You doing a lot of moving, man. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. We didn't know we had to pray for you or nothing, but all right, man. All right, let's go back to March Madness real quickly. And we got some first round matchups today. We know, oh man, and we missed this, Coach, especially me and you, and also Red. He has affiliation to HBCUs. We missed the dope. Some of us should have doped on that HBCUs won their games for the first time.
Sure did.
In March Madness history, Norfolk State and Texas Southern won their respective games. So big ups to two HBCUs. They always have a way of putting our HBCUs in the play-in games. They want to talk about as March Madness, but they're nothing but play-in games. But big ups to Norfolk State and Texas Southern, who both won their respective March Madness play-in games. So now, what are your expectations for day two? Go ahead, Coach. I'm going to go back to you. Any expectations? Do we see any upsets? Anybody be on upset alert?
Oh, yeah. I see two teams that's going to be on upset alert. Number one, Colorado. Colorado got a 5 seed. They were 22-8, but they playing a hot Georgetown team who just came off the Big East win. So, hey, Georgetown is on a roll with a side of slaw. So, hey, they're on upset alert. And the Creighton, who lost out, the University of California, Santa Barbara, hey, they no joke. 22-8, they no joke. So you can see those teams being on upset alert. And for those of you who love your HBCUs like we do, Texas Southern is not beating Michigan. And Norfolk State is not beating Gonzaga. So please eliminate that thought from your mind. If it happens, I'll take every listener to the Longhorns if either one of those two win. So it's not happening.
Somebody praying, Coach. Somebody started praying. All right.
Stop making these big, I'll do this and I'll do that if it happens. Because, man, one of them might win.
No,
I hope not, because boy, you're gonna be on the hook for a lot of Longhorn dinners.
Yeah, no, I don't see it happening either. But anything can happen. But I don't think it's very likely. That's for sure. No doubt about it. What you have any expectations for day two of the round 32, Red?
I'm with Coach. I mean, whatever he said.
Okay, that's some great analysis right there. All right. Well, I am hoping that Georgetown will show up and show out. I would love to see Patrick Ewing get at least a 1 W in the NCAA tournament. I wouldn't want to see him win the Big East championship and come and get out of the first round. So I want to make at least to the second round. Also, I'm hoping that Shaka Smart Texas team shows up, because it would be terrible for his team to win the Big 12 tournament and then come back as a 3 seed and get upset in the first round. So I'm hoping to see Shaka Smart do real well, because prior to his team winning the Big 12 tournament, he was on the hot seat. They were ready to Charlie Strong him, if you will. But he won the Big 12 championship, and that was a big blessing for him. And I hope that Texas has a deep run into the NCAA basketball tournament. Is there any other conference, coach, that should be on upset alert? Where you made mention of the ACC, they had a bad day one. The Big Ten had a bad day one. Do you see any big Power 5 conference having another bad day at the NCAA tournament office?
Not really. I think other than the 2 upsets I picked, everything else is gonna hold the form. And those teams that are expected to win are going to win. I don't see anybody else. I mean, the conferences are having a bad day today. I think, look at teams like Iowa, Michigan, and those. I think they're going to have a pretty good day. The ACC will catch up again today, because I think Florida State and Virginia are going to represent. But other than that, I don't see any big conference losses today.
All right, gentlemen, real quickly, before we move on, I want you all to get to your brackets, at least you remember your bracket, and tell us who you had for your Final Four, so we can monitor it to see what's going on with the Final Four, or at least tell us who you have in the championship game.
All righty.
Coach, who you got?
Wait a minute. All right.
Are you pulling up your bracket?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. My Final Four is Gonzaga, Michigan, Illinois, and Ohio State. Sorry, sons of Beatles. They lost. Ohio State is gone. So I got Gonzaga, Michigan, and Illinois, and I got Gonzaga and Illinois in the final. So that's still holding up.
Wow. Okay. Red, did you pull yours up?
I can't get to it right now.
All right. Who you got in your championship?
Hold on. Well, I know I had Georgia Tech in 1. So, yeah, it's probably mine probably busted, because I know I had Georgia Tech.
Wow. You were really riding your fandom right there.
So
definitely. All right. Well, in one bracket, I had Ohio State, and they're gone, along with Texas, Gonzaga, and Illinois. That was my Final Four. So Ohio State has already failed me. So we'll see what Texas, Gonzaga, Illinois will do. And who'd you have as your champion, coach, or who you have in the championship game?
I got Gonzaga beating Illinois 68-65.
Red, who's in your championship game and who wins?
I can't see right now.
You had Georgia Tech? Did you have Georgia Tech?
Yeah, one of them. They were one of the teams. I think Gonzaga was the other one. So it could have been Gonzaga over Georgia Tech. So
well, Shelby had this message for you, Red.
Huh?
Shelby has this message for you.
I don't care about Shelby's message.
And I have Illinois beating Kentucky.
Most of her messages I'll block or delete.
All right. I have Illinois beating Gonzaga in the championship 78-75. I'm really impressed with that Dusumanu. I can't pronounce his name, but that kid is pretty smooth. And I see Illinois possibly beating Gonzaga in the championship. So that's who I got. Joe Black said he has Gonzaga, Michigan, Illinois, Arkansas. Who you got as your champion, Joe Black? Other people, if you got a Final Four, post it real quickly. We're about to change topics. right before we go on that, or we're about to go into halftime, and then we're going to change topics. So who you got? Give us your Final Four real quickly before we move on. We see Joe Black. His Final Four is still intact. Still intact. So he has 4 out of 4. Arkansas, Illinois won for him, and it looks good for Michigan and Gonzaga. They're both number 1 seeds. I don't see them losing today. Anybody else got a Final Four? Joe Black has Illinois versus Gonzaga in the championship. Who do you have winning it, Joe? Give us your winner now. Josh Pastor didn't have Georgia Tech.
The coach didn't even put him.
The coach didn't even predict him to go to the Final Four. Shelby, boy, you on the roll. She said the coach didn't even have them going to the Final Four. And Joe Black is going with Coach Gonzaga for the championship. All right, well, I guess Joe Black was the only one who filled out a bracket. I feel better that I didn't have a Red and Red Sports Show bracket because not too many folk are paying attention on today. Nevertheless, let's get ready to wrap this first half of the Red and Rev Sports Show up. We've had some good time. We want to thank Kelly again for joining the show, jabbing Coach. She really wasn't jabbing. She was tapping that Coach. The jabs were coming from the I forgot what Vincent called the peanut gallery.
The Revenites.
The Revenites. They were coming for Coach on today, and we appreciate you all coming because Kelly was trying to be real nice, and you see she was being real teachery on the Red and Red Sports Show, showing Coach some compassion. But, I had to muddy it up, try to muddy it up a little bit. And thank you, Chris Traylor, for muddying it up real good, talking about they should have played Stomp instead of on-time God, because that's what Mississippi Valley State needed, God to be on time to help them stay away from that blowout. But he allowed them to go into the Lions Den and experience that beatdown. But nevertheless, everybody, it's halftime of the Red and Red Sports Show. We thank y'all for tuning in to the first half. We got some football coming your way, so stay tuned. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. And we're back on the Red and Red Sports Show. And we had a good first half, and we look forward to having a good second half. Before we get to football, all right, Red, we're gonna have to get you a seatbelt, man. You all right over there, man?
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. All right, we're gonna talk a little basketball, NBA basketball this time. So we're gonna get back and cue up the Curtis Blow music again. I like how Vincent does that, cue up Curtis Blow. So we're coming back to Curtis Blow right about now. And we're going to talk a little NBA. And we're only going to talk about one team. And it happens to be the hometown team. And we know that the Atlanta Hawks are on a 7-game winning streak. And here's the question. Are the Hawks truly soaring? That's the question for today. And everyone knows how Rev has felt about the firing of Lloyd Pierce. We know that Rev was very much in favor of the firing. And also, we see that he is very happy about Nate McMillan. So the question is, are the Hawks truly soaring? We're going to start with Rev, and then we're going to go to Coach, and then Rev is going to come and fill in the gaps. So, Rev, are the Hawks truly soaring?
Well, they're searing right now. They're soaring. You know, they got a nice little 7 or 8 game stretch ahead of them, and that's gonna really tell us everything we need to know, because there's some tough teams in this little stretch right here. But they are definitely playing much better than they were before. I'll say that. I mean, 7-game win streak, rose from the 11th seed all the way up to possibly could be the 4th seed with a win today. So, you know, we never know. So, I mean, to go from the 11th seed to possibly the 4th seed in like a 2 weeks time, yeah, that's definitely a rise. But I need to see how they play these teams in this next 7 or 8 game stretch. That'll let me know are we really soaring to where we need to be. But they definitely got themselves back in the playoff race, whereas a few weeks ago it looked like we were close to the lottery race. So I appreciate that. I know a lot of it got to do with we playing in the East and a lot of the competition we play. But hey, you only get to play what's on your schedule, and whatever's on their schedule, they've been handling business. So we'll see what's going on with these next few games in front of them, starting today with my other team, my LA Lakers. As you see, I'm representing both teams today. So today is a big game. I mean, this will definitely tell us a lot. I mean, come up against the world champs with a 7-game win streak. Hey, this is what sports is all about, Hawks. So now it's time to show us. But hey, I like what I'm seeing so far from Uncle Nate and his Hawks.
Coach, jump in there. Are the Hawks truly soaring?
Well, let's just look at the competition they play. Let's look at the teams they beat in the street. Miami, Orlando, Toronto, Sacramento, a lot of O's, Cleveland, Houston, and Oklahoma City. Well, I'm gonna say that they all in the NBA and they all play pro basketball, but I look at the stretch they got to go through in the next few days. Los Angeles, Lakers, Clippers, Sacramento, Golden State, Denver, Phoenix, San Antonio. I'll be back to make my comments after Thursday, April 1st, to see if the Atlanta Hawks are truly soaring.
You and Joe Black, y'all have stolen my thunder, because I was about to say, look, people, calm down. The one thing that we have learned is that's good for the Hawks is that they are beating the teams that they should beat. That was not necessarily happening under Lloyd Pierce. They were winning some and losing some. So if you want to get excited about beating teams that you should beat, like the Thunder, like the Cavs, then rejoice. But there's no need to rejoice as if we're really going to be doing something as a Hawks franchise when Coach just alluded to it. Look at the records of the teams that they have beaten. The Miami Heat, let's be reminded, that was a victory that took place right before the All-Star break where Jimmy Butler didn't even play. So that's the best team that they've beaten in this 7-game winning streak. They're 22-20, but their record is under 500 when Jimmy Butler doesn't play. The Raptors are not making the playoffs. The Kings are not making the playoffs. The Houston Rockets are trying to set a record for most consecutive losses. The Cavaliers are not making the playoffs. And the Thunder, they're not making the playoffs. So I think we need to hold our horses We will not see, excuse me, we will not see if they are really making any true noise until like a game like today. Even though the Lakers are not at full strength, the Lakers still without Anthony Davis are better than any of those teams that they've played so far. So we'll get to gauge how well the Hawks are truly playing. This will be a great game for them to show us if they're for real or not. One of the worst things that could happen to the Hawks and to the Hawks fan base is if they play the Los Angeles Lakers and get blown out today. That would make everything that they just did fool's gold, because they can't complain about being road weary. They had no game last night. They're not playing any back-to-back. So it's now the table is set for them to prove to us if they are truly about that playoff life. And I will say, I want to give them big ups. They have done what they're supposed to do. You have to beat the people that are on the schedule. It's not their fault that they have scrubbed 7 games in a row. But now it's time for them to show us if truly the Nate McMillan factor is of such a nature where they can be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. But kudos for beating those people who you're supposed to beat. I will give them credit for that. But I want to see the true test when they play against the likes of the Lakers and people who are going to be on the court come June when they have to go to the playoffs. Any closing comments, Red?
No.
Anything for you, Coach?
I just waiting. We're going to look at can they hold that top 5, top 6 spot? We will see. And hopefully for the fans, that's energize them if they come out of this next 6-game stretch, 7-game stretch with a winning record.
Let me ask somebody this real quickly. Soaring, or I'm not happy to see some, I'm happy to see some improvement. A week or two, the Hawks were on that list of not making the playoffs. Thomas says, hopefully El DeBarge Trey will get his rhythm of this night. Oh, and matter of fact, we forgot. Thomas gave us a new update where he was during halftime. In the meantime, I'm checking out the downhill cheese rolling championships and Fondue Lock, Wisconsin. Man, you get around from
at least you were smart enough to base it in Wisconsin where the cheese actually is. Good job, Thomas. I like your geography intelligence.
Oh, okay. Now, Red, here's a question for you. Since you're the biggest Hawks fan on the panel, Joe Black poses this question: will Collins be on the team by next week?
Oh, I hope so.
But what do you think he will be?
Yeah. Yeah.
Any particular reason?
Any particular reason what?
That you think Collins will be on the team since he is a free agent after this year?
Oh, well, why would I think he wouldn't be when we're playing well right now? It'd be kind of foolish to trade him. I mean, hey, we playing bad, that's one thing, but we gelling right now. Just gonna have to wait till the off season and see what happens. And you better not why would we trade him now when we gelling? Everything working right now. We're gonna mess that up by making a big time trade right here in the middle of the season, right in crunch time. Hey, that would be something to talk about.
Let me ask you this. So they win 7 games. We've all admitted that they really haven't beaten any quality teams. They go to LA tonight, get blown out, or this afternoon they get blown out. Does that change your thought process?
No, we're staying put the rest of the season. I've seen enough, so I want to ride this out the rest of the season.
And so do you think he's in the Hawks' future plans?
Depending on how this season winds down.
So everything is predicated upon what they do for the rest of the season.
That's right.
Coach, do you think the Hawks should explore trading Collins, even though they're on a 7-game winning streak?
No, not really. I think you stay with what you get. You get roll what you got. Don't trade him. What you gonna keep him? Because who is your asset that you're looking to pick up in a trade?
Exactly. I don't understand. Who are we seeking? I mean, Collins.
Red, let me finish this point, then we'll come back to you. Go ahead, Coach.
I mean, you gotta look out there and see what's out there. If you're gonna get rid of him, obviously you might not be looking for that particular position, but you may be looking for, I don't know, another or a backup or something. I'm not sure what they will be looking for if they decided to trade him.
Jump in there, Red. What are your thoughts?
What he just said. They're not seeking anything. So what are you trading them for? You got something that's working. Keep it together. You got your big three. What are you going looking for? Somebody else's big three? Collins, Trey, Capella, and the role players. You got Hunter and Reddish possibly coming back. Go from there.
So is Collins, Capella, and Collins enough for them to compete in the Eastern Conference playoffs? Are they enough to compete against Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Philadelphia? Because again, we're not talking about winning games against the Raptors, the Magic. Those teams ain't going to the playoffs. So when we're talking about this big high, about this 7-game winning streak, let's pump our brakes because we don't really know if it's truly working or not because those teams that they just beat aren't going to the playoffs. So the real question we got to ask is that big three suitable to compete? Sit up for us, Red. Sit up for us, man. If you don't mind.
I'm up.
Yeah, sit up in your seat for visible, man. You making everybody feel like you too relaxed. Sit up for us, man. We're on camera. All right. Are they good enough to compete against Greek Freak? The big three in Brooklyn. This is what we got to ask the question because he's not on contract. He can walk after this year. So if we're measuring keeping him for this year based upon winning against scrubs that won't be in the playoffs, and that will dictate what we do in the future, isn't it worth exploring the possibility of trading him if you can't say definitively that Collins this year helped you beat or compete against the Nets, the Sixers, and the Bucks, and even the Heat?
Mm-hmm.
From that standpoint, I'll go back to you, Coach, first. What are your thoughts?
If only way they can compete, I think you have to add with addition by not by subtraction. You can't subtract Collins because I don't see that three being strong enough to take on any three right now, not of the bigger boys.
So then it makes sense to explore possibly trading him. Because you're basically saying you're going to let him walk and get no value for him?
Mm-hmm. Get nothing.
The only way you get value for him is if he signs a contract with somebody and you get a sign and trade. And you're not getting equal value in the sign and trade. No. So is it that defend? It ain't broke, don't fix it when you're not beating any of the powerhouse teams yet? I'll go back to you, Red.
My opinion ain't changed. Keep Collins and try to re-sign him in the offseason.
Can they beat the Bucks? Can they beat the Nets? Can they beat the Sixers?
We'll see.
I'm asking you. I ain't talking about we'll see. Give us an opinion. What's your thought?
Yeah, I think so.
So do you got to go to the Eastern Conference Championship?
Well, I got him as one of the contenders at full strength with Nate coaching.
Coach, you share that same opinion?
I'm sure they have him right there with Lloyd coaching. But with Nate coaching, anything possible now.
You share that same opinion of Red?
They're strong enough. You look at a team like, say, the 76ers with their big three. Can that Hawks big three compete with them? Or now Boston, who was a contender, I don't know what's going on with them. But then you look at Milwaukee and those teams that are and the Nets. My God, look at the Nets, who everybody's darlings, Kyrie, Harden, and Durant. What three can compete with them on the Hawks? Pick your poison. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I will say that Dante made a good point, and I forgot about that. That Now, he is a restricted free agent only if they offer him a tender. And the question is, will they offer him a tender, a starting contract? That would be, then that would make him a restricted free agent. They could just let him walk all the way together by not offering him a tender. But yeah, if he is a restricted free agent, so then I have to change my attitude. That gives them the ability to be able to keep him, and then eventually see if you want him later on. Well, you didn't make that point, Red, so don't talk about I told you so, because you didn't make the point. Dante made.
I knew he was a restricted free agent that they could match any offer that he got.
Yeah, you didn't make that point on the show, though. That's what I'm saying. And when we were having
I would have told you.
Well, you didn't. That's why I wish you would have told me, since you're going all like this. Tell us, don't smile once Dante makes the point. You make the point. But nevertheless, move forward, going on.
Okay.
That does change the game a little bit when you start talking about him being a restricted free agent. So we'll see. We'll see. But Dante, thanks for making the point, brother, because that does change the argument a little bit, that the Hawks still do have control over him. If they make the initial contract offer, they can match any contract offer that he gets. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the NBA trade deadline. It's coming up, so we'll see what moves are being made. Armani says, no, they can beat any of those teams, but they are young. They can't beat any of those teams, but they're young. Let them develop and get better together. Now, the whole question is, when you got Trey coming around the corner, are you comfortable if somebody offers Collins a max? Do you give him a max and then you give Collins Trey Young a max, and then you got Hunter coming around the corner, Reddish coming around the corner? So it's going to be really interesting. What do they do with Herter? They got a lot of decisions that have to be made, and I guess if they make the playoffs, a lot of these decisions will ultimately be determined. So we'll see what the Hawks are going to do, and we'll see next week if we're still talking about them soaring and if they have beaten some quality teams between now and next week. One quick thing, and I forgot. Did I forget to put this in there? Yeah, I'll do the talking while I'm thinking about it. The Greek Freak has a new teammate, and his new teammate is Brother Tucker, who's playing for the Houston Rockets. PJ Tucker. Coach, I'm going to come to you first. What does that do for the Milwaukee Bucks getting PJ Tucker, who was arguably the heart and soul of the Houston Rockets run when they had James Harden, Russell Westbrook last year, then previous years, Chris Paul? We know he's a hard-nosed player. He can guard probably positions from 3 to 5, muscle guy. Does that move the needle for the Bucks to put them in better contention to come out of the NBA East?
It gives them another physical ball player who can actually step out and hit a three on occasion. They need some physicality, so he can come off the bench. I don't know if they're going to start him, but he makes a different fit rebound-wise, but I'm not scoring. He's not a scorer. He's a what they call him, one of those garbage players who gets in there and bangs a little bit. But as far as scoring, you're not getting much out of him. On occasion, he'll score, but I think another piece to help him get stronger and more physical.
Now, don't forget, he does hit that corner three.
Yeah, on occasion. Yep.
On occasion, he does hit that corner three. Does that move the needle for the Bucks, Red?
Not to me, it don't. I mean, it's a good additional piece. He'll just help. He won't put him over the hump or anything. I mean, how many times did he put his own Houston Rockets over the hump? So it's good that he's going to a winning team instead of having to suffer in Houston, losing 16 or 17 games in a row. But it's just another piece on a good team. I mean, I don't think I don't think it's going to all of a sudden take them over Philly or take them over Brooklyn or anything. So just another added piece to me. Nothing special.
I think it's a sneaky good pick right there, a sneaky good trade. I mean, let's look at the top 4 players for the Brooklyn Nets. You got Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant, and now Blake Griffin. Then you look at what the Bucks have done, and this can't be underestimated. The Milwaukee Bucks have the defense to be able not to stop the Brooklyn Nets, but to slow them down. They have Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Greek Freak, PJ Tucker, Garden, Harden, Irvin, KD, and Blake Griffin. That's a pretty good four to play defense. And we know the Brooklyn Nets don't play what? Any defense.
No.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks beat them. And one of the things that Coach knows from having rooted for Kevin Durant before he called him a coward when he left his Oklahoma City Thunder is that we all know KD is not the most mentally tough player in the league.
Nope.
What can PJ Tucker do to KD?
Harass
Beat him up, toughen him up, get all up in his grill. One of the things that smaller ball players don't like are cock strong brothers who get up in your stuff. And when PJ Tucker puts that arm on him, KD will not be able to move too much. He won't be able to do much wiggling. And he can't really post PJ Tucker up because Kevin Durant's a lightweight in comparison to PJ Tucker. So I think that was really a move for KD. I don't really think he'll do well trying to guard Kyrie and James Harden. That's why you got Drew Holiday there and Chris Middleton. But for KD in particular, I think he could be a nightmare for KD because he can get in KD's head because that joker's strong. Coach, what you think?
Well, I mean, if you look at that aspect of it, Brooklyn is not like they got Griffin, but Brooklyn, like you said, is not the most physical team. They prefer to outshoot you and outscore you. When it comes to that banging, you know, they got DeAndre Jordan, but Jordan is not that big time banger. He does a little bit, but the rest of them, you know, they prefer to outshoot you and outscore you. So that may be a key. If that defense can clamp down on him, like you're saying, then hey, Milwaukee could do some damage.
So who you have coming out the East still?
I still say Milwaukee. I said at the beginning.
So then that PJ Tucker furthers your pick then.
Him and then, like I said, when they picked up Drew Holiday, that helped made me think that they're trying to get some pieces in there. And Middleton is playing out of his head, so can he do it in the playoffs? We'll see.
And I think for me, PJ Tucker gave them the boost to beat Brooklyn and even the boost to possibly beat Philadelphia. You're laughing, Red. Tell us why you laugh.
I just don't. I mean, like I said, I just see PJ Tucker just a move. I mean, he'll help them defensive wise. He brings some physicality to the team. But when playoffs start, it's still gonna be all about what Giannis can and can't do on that perimeter. And can he still, get to the hole at will? And what are the other offensive players around him? What is Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton gonna do in effect? I think that it's gonna come down to more of that than PJ Tucker becoming a nightmare for Kevin Durant. Now he'll help. Don't get me wrong, he'll help defensively or whoever he's guarding. But man, I mean, we just seen Milwaukee choke too many times. I'm gonna have to see it to believe it. But he definitely will help. They definitely a tougher, more physical team with him than without him. But like I say, when playoff time come, I just rather see it before I believe it first, especially with these Milwaukee teams who don't have number one seed back-to-back years and don't choke before they even reach the final back-to-back years. But it was definitely a good added piece that could definitely be valuable for them in the long run. So we'll see. We'll see. They will have their opportunity. I say that they're gonna be one of the top teams in the East. I'm just not going that far yet.
Well, that's fair. I can't get on you for making that fair assessment that the Milwaukee Bucks have choked the previous 2 years. Now, the one good thing about the PJ Tucker signing, in addition to physicality, he also has playoff experience, and he's played in tough playoff.
Yeah, definitely with the James. That's why I say when you say you're gonna be covering Durant, I thought, boy, he trying to cover James Harden or something.
No, he can't. He can't guard.
He can't handle Harden.
No. Harden and Kyrie Irving's their handles.
Right by him, wouldn't
Yeah, they'll embarrass him, but he can lay on KD or stop KD from getting the ball. Now they would probably have to give KD the ball if he's guarding him. If Tucker's guarding him, KD would have to be the facilitator because it would be hard for KD to get the ball if he's not being the playmaker. Because Tucker can lock him down, so KD would have to bring the ball up quite a bit. Because if he's coming off picks or if he's trying to run the lane or whatever, PJ Tucker got that strength. That's going to make it life difficult for KD. And he can't post him up, even though KD is like 7 feet. PJ Tucker push him out all the way to the three, push him out to the stands.
Man, that's my problem with Kevin Durant. You let PJ Tucker do that to you, everything I said about you is going to be validated. They can't. But yeah, I love to see that. I would love to see that matchup. I would love to see it happen too, just so I can clown Kevin Durant for letting it happen. But it's gonna be interesting to see. Now you're making me want to see a Bucks Nets playoff matchup.
It would definitely be interesting. Coach, there's a question about Joe Black.
Do they play again this year?
I'm not sure. I have to look at the schedule. I wouldn't be surprised if they have to play again at some point. Coach, Joe Black wants to know how your Wizards are doing.
I think
actually they're doing all right.
Look here.
Get them, coach. Tell them what they beat the other night.
They are currently 2 games out of that 10th spot, but that this comment about Joe Black means that we may need to move to Jacksonville location. We may not be. We're not coming to Jacksonville. I don't understand this, Joe Black. When you come with these comments about my Wizards. The Wizards not a threat right now. No, don't worry about it. I don't understand your comments, Joe Black.
Oh man, Joe came for coach right there, no doubt about it. All right, gentlemen, let's change sports and let's get into a hot topic, man. And Massagegate and Deshaun Watson. This is a real difficult topic to talk about. We know that there are various civil charges that are being brought against him by multiple women. Right now, it's like double digits and possibly going as much to in the 20s. 21 cases of civil lawsuits where they are stating inappropriate action, sexual assault against Deshaun Watson. Now, mind you, this is on the back of Deshaun Watson saying he will never play for the Houston Texans again. It's also on the back of Deshaun Watson saying he wants to be traded. Also on the back of Deshaun Watson saying if he's not traded, he will sit out an entire season. So with those being said, and with the allegations being brought forward, I'll start with you, Red. What are your thoughts about the civil lawsuits coming against Deshaun Watson at this time?
Real, my thoughts are all over the place, man. And Deshaun Watson, his thoughts should be all over the place too. I mean, some of these statements he made back in the day now are just laughable now. He won't play for the Houston Texans ever again. We'll see. You gonna sit out the season, or you might have to. Dude, my thing to Deshaun Watson, dude, if you knew it was any chance whatsoever that you were doing anything remotely reprehensible or inappropriate to any of these massage people, dude, you are one freaking fool for making these statements to the Houston Texans, knowing that any day, anytime, this stuff can drop. Now, when the first woman dropped, when the first lawsuit came, I actually thought it was Cal McNair doing some J.R. Ewing type stuff. But that's one lawsuit. Dude, it is no way I can defend 20 plus lawsuits. I can't defend 12 lawsuits, man. Are you kidding me? There is definitely some smoke to this. He already admitted having contact with some of these women. So there you go right now. You already starting to change the story. You already admitted to having contact, but not inappropriate contact. And this big comment you made about I never in my life disrespected her. Dude, take a chill pill with all the big time philosophical comments right now, okay? You can't afford to make those comments right now in your situation. Not when you got lawsuits dropping day after day after day. Don't give me that crap about it's a witch hunt. Yeah, I know the Texans are some dirty people. And I know Cal McNair got money down there and he could be spreading around. But dude, these are multiple cases of lawsuits with inappropriate behavior. And anybody that's a father of a girl, don't come at me talking about they coming at him for a witch hunt. Unless you gonna sit up here and tell me that if your daughter and your loved one and your family came to you and said 10 plus people were inappropriate with them, and you gonna sit back and say, oh, okay, baby, well, let's just wait for the facts to come out before I do anything. Bull crap. Bull crap. And if you say it, you a freaking fool. You ain't no kind of father I would want. So spare me that, okay? Let's just sit back and wait for the stuff to come out. But right now, I ain't defending him, but I'm not putting the Texans, I'm not appeasing them from the situation. It could be some dirty stuff. I do smell something stinky. Hey, but Deshaun Watson, dude, you got some explaining to do because you are just not smart right now. You are exposing yourself. Yeah, what are you doing with all these different massage therapists anyway? Hit one that you use all the time. Consistency, stability. We are living in too dangerous of time, man, for you to be putting yourself in these crazy positions where it's gonna be your word versus theirs. Because I promise you, Deshaun, ain't nobody gonna take your word when it's multiple women.
Coach, jump in there, sir.
For this to have occurred over a period of time, and I use this, if it was my daughter and she ran a massage parlor like this, and Deshaun Watson did something inappropriate to her, that will be taken care of immediately. Why now? All this happened, I guess it occurred while he was with the Texans. Why now? Is this coming out? Shouldn't it have been coming out over the season? So you hide it until it's appropriate? Is that what we're doing? I guess that's what I'm looking at. You wait till it's he about to leave, then all of a sudden all this stuff comes out. Why it didn't come out while he was playing? What, you didn't want him to not play? If this came out and then he was found guilty, he couldn't play quarterback. So I'm looking at it like that, because if you did something to my daughter or whatever, we'd handle it right there. We wouldn't wait till a year or two or whatever for you to bring this up. And that now all of a sudden he's leaving. Now all of a sudden he's the worst person in the world. Maybe he did it, maybe he didn't. But why now? When the man say he doesn't want to play for you, all of a sudden everything is coming out now. Shouldn't it have come out when it happened? That's my point. Why would you hide this all alone and then all of a sudden just bring it up when the man say he doesn't want to play? It was okay. So it was okay for him to touch somebody if he did it while he was the quarterback of the Texans. It was okay then. And now he said, I'm not with the Texans. Now it's not okay. Come on, so help me out.
I have multiple feelings upon this topic. Let me just say this: if any of these allegations are true, this is very sad. If any of them are true, very sad. Obviously, Deshaun Watson needs some help. If any of these allegations are true, that's first and foremost. Being the only person on this panel who has a daughter, I would be very troubled by such a situation, and sure enough, it would have been dealt with immediately once I heard about it.
Right.
That's number one. I wouldn't have to wait for it to hit the media. We're going to handle it quick, fast, and in a hurry. And these are not even happenings that just took place this year. This is supposed to be over a period of time. So as a father, I would have done things immediately. I would have gotten legal representation immediately. So I just want to say that on on that front.
Yeah.
On the other front is this. Let's not act like we don't know what sabotage looks like. Okay? Before Deshaun Watson talks about wanting out of Houston, before we talk about him doing something that most NFL players don't do, and that is determining his future. That's something that they do in basketball. Let's not act like we don't know the history of the Houston Texans ownership. This is the same organization who had the owner who said, in essence, we got to keep the black boys in line. They cannot run the asylum. His son took over the roster of the franchise after he died. So let's not act like we're not talking about some bona fide racists. So as we got to be careful, because none of us know one way or the other. We don't know if it's true. And this is where, you know, I appreciate your passionate conversation, Red, but I think we need to slow down. Because being a public figure myself, to a certain degree, nowhere near on the level of Deshaun Watson, I do know that people can say certain things and people can purposely muddy you up. And nothing can be true. Nothing has been proven. But once it hits the media, none of that stuff can be taken away. And when things are not proved, when things are proven differently, the media does not go back hard vindicating the same person that they scrutinize. And I'm real passionate about this because I had a situation amongst my teammates when I played for Morehouse College. And this is where we got to be careful trying to go in on people before we hear the facts. Because while I was at Morehouse, I had 3 teammates. They did something wrong. They ran a train on a woman. But the same girl who was complicit to the train, and it came out to be factual that she was complicit in the court case, she went back to her dorm room and cried rape. When she cried rape, all 3 of my teammates were locked up. They were denied bail because the president of Spelman College at that time did everything she could to keep those boys in jail. It wasn't until the same girl who cried rape got caught in the same dorm room where she accused them of raping her, and she was having sex with another dude. And it wasn't until 2 months later when that happened, when they finally got out of jail, and the Spelman College president didn't do anything to vindicate those boys that she kept in jail for 2 months on a flawed allegation. So we could get passionate, but be careful denigrating a young man who has not been found guilty of anything. Let's not act like we don't know of any people who know how to manipulate situations. Am I saying Deshaun Watson is not guilty? No, I'm not. Well, I'm saying nobody should be coming at the young man until the facts are proven. Period. And we know what happens when you muddy up a player. His trade value goes down. Now you throw all these lawsuits at Deshaun Watson, 21 of them, where folk are trying to get money, because none of these yet are talking about criminal investigation. But all of these are dealing with money. What does he have to spend in order to defend himself? Money. What can he do if he has to spend money to defend himself? He can't sit out an entire season. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic? Where the man has enough money to sit out a season, but now we got all these allegations. And now he has to play, or at least report, to the same team that didn't want to trade him because now he got to use the money to defend himself. Let's not act like we don't know how some people are very strategic in what they do. Now, I'll agree with what Shelby says. You have to be careful putting yourself in certain situations. I'll even agree with what somebody else said. Joe Black talking about finding a massage therapist on IG. I agree with all that. While at the same time, we cannot put that man to say he's guilty. Guess what? If people see that they could possibly get money, join the crowd. Join the crowd. How many times if somebody sent you something and said there's a lawsuit on such and such company, and if you had experience with them, you can join the lawsuit. Anybody done that before? Seen that before? Yeah. And even though you didn't have a bad experience, the thought comes to say, dang, this company about to be litigated. Let me join the lawsuit, and maybe I could possibly come up on some money. Now, that could possibly be the situation. Maybe those girls were wrong. Women were wrong. I don't know. But let's not act like folk don't like to join the pile on from time to time. And I think we got to be very, very, very careful going in on people before they're found guilty. Let's remember, they are only allegations, not convictions. There's nothing that's been proven. So how dare us try to go in on a man who has been brought up on allegations? There's nothing that's been proven. Should he not put himself in harm's way? Of course. But then the same thing can be said. He shouldn't have a therapist at all, a massage therapist at all. Because whenever we engage with the opposite sex, we are all putting ourselves in harm's way, one way or another. I date. Any woman I date could easily say, Rev did something to me and it didn't happen. And guess what? It's an allegation that I would have to prove. It was false. Anybody can say anything at any time. I've been in a situation, last thing, and I'm done with it. I've been in a situation, and I'll just go ahead and tell it so that people understand you got to look at it both ways. Yes, you should be sensitive to when women say something. Now, mind you, these are only allegations. Therefore, we need to hear the facts. But then there are also situations where women lie. And I was in a situation where I went to a woman's apartment. This is about 10, 12 years ago. And anybody who knows me, I don't date women who drink. I don't date anybody with liquor on their breath. That's a safety mechanism for me. So if something happens, nobody can say Rev did anything to get somebody drunk. So what happens? I'm at this woman's home. She knows I don't mess with folk who have liquor. She's cooking. She's drinking some wine. Liquor's on her breath. She comes, tries to play with me while I'm waiting on the couch. I said, no, I don't get down like that. Get off me. Then she went, drank some more, came back. Same thing. I said, look, get off me. Last time she does it again, I push her off me. I leave her apartment. She is in an enclosed apartment. So what does she do? As I'm leaving to go to my car, she yells out where everybody in her residence can hear her, you raped me. You raped me. I'm in Dunwoody, Georgia. I'm getting in my car, getting quick out of Dodge. Because I did not acquiesce to her wish, all of a sudden I raped her. That does happen sometimes. Now, I'm up here thinking I'm having an innocent dinner on a Friday night. But yet I leave there accused of raping them. Now, to this woman's credit, she called 3 days later and apologized. But that does happen as well. So before we get so passionate, be careful. Let's not vilify somebody off of allegations. Wait for the facts. And I would say the same thing about if my daughter came to me, I would ask every question that I need to ask. Every question I need to ask. And I'm not waiting for certain things to be solved. If my daughter came to me, I'm dealing with it immediately. Period. So that's all I have to say. And I'll just say, let's wait and see what happens, because none of us were there. None of us knows what happened. So therefore, we need to be careful about trying to vilify somebody. I'm done. Anybody want to say something? Coach, you got anything you want to say?
I mean, in every situation, like you said, the truth eventually comes out. And that's what we looking at with this one. The truth coming out. And like I said, why now instead of then? Why now?
All right. Well, we'll move on from there, and and I'm gonna just say this: I pray for all the persons involved. I pray for the women who are bringing the allegations. I pray for Deshaun Watson. I pray that the truth comes out, and I pray that whatever outcome is supposed to come from this comes. I pray that there are lessons learned, and if there's some justice that needs to be served, I pray that the justice is served as well. But I'm encourage everybody. Be careful vilifying people off accusations. Any one of us, and I'm talking about this panel right here, any one of us can be falsely accused about something that we didn't do. If we did do something, we need to pay the price. But anytime we put ourselves in the company of the opposite sex, we are always dealing with a possibility of something that could happen. And therefore, we need to be careful. As if our names were out there off of an allegation that wasn't true, we would be hot. And we cannot get our names back. That's the one thing that's going to be hard from this situation, is that if Deshaun Watson didn't do anything, the damage has already been done. His pristine reputation has already been shredded to pieces off of an allegation. And I don't think any of us would be cool with our names being scarred off an allegation. For what would that do for us? Now the internet is a big tool that people use to get information on people. So just an allegation for one of us can prevent Coach from getting a teaching job, could prevent me from getting preaching opportunities, could prevent Red from getting a new job opportunity with some other corporation other than UPS. So this is why we got to be careful vilifying people, because this is a new age where allegations can stick without merit. Now, if it's verified, Deshaun Watson should get everything that's coming to him. But until it's proven, I think we got to be careful and just pray for all sides. All right. With that being said, let's move on to a lighter note. And I want to thank you all for sharing in that. That's a hot topic, hot button issue. And I pray for the best outcome to come. Let's go to NFL free agency. Coach, I know you're on cloud nine as we go to a lighter moment. You got your wide receiver back, Juju, on a one-year contract, $8 million. What are your thoughts about Juju getting re-signed by the Steelers?
Well, to me, it seemed like a smart move by him, because if you look at it, you keep saying you're a Steeler. I'm a Steeler. Okay, you come back. Now you come back at a low salary. You come in and you have to prove something. You get out there and show everybody that you worth more. Then I think you said 2023, the salary cap it goes up. So now you can renegotiate and get a bigger contract, and you can still remain a Steeler. So, smart move by him.
All right. Red, with free agency, did any signings stand out to you?
I'm trying to think of something that stood out. A lot of folks getting signed this week.
Now, you're a Georgia fan. AJ Green left
Yeah,
Cincinnati and signed with Arizona. Your thoughts about that?
Not too excited. I thought Larry Fitzgerald was coming back. It was a move, but I mean, I don't think I mean, not really a splashy move to me. It was a move, but I ain't jump. I mean, okay, they picked him up. I guess his time was up in Cincinnati. A 1-year deal. We'll see what happened. I thought Larry Fitzgerald was coming back over there, so maybe he's done. But I mean, it's good. I mean, it's a good team. I don't know, I'm just, like I say, I'm just trying to think. Nothing really stood out to me so far. Dak got his money. Any other move y'all want to ask me about?
What do you think about Ryan Fitzpatrick getting
I like that one now.
football
I
like Washington team?
Patrick Washington. I like that move for a simple fact that they got a defense, so they really ain't gonna need Ryan to do too much. Plus, they signed Curtis Samuel to pair him with the other kid from Christian McLaren, I think his name. I forgot the school.
From my number 17 for the Washington team.
Yeah, but I think those two were former teammates. So I like the Fitzpatrick. I appreciate it. I like the Fitzpatrick move. I did like that move because I know that the Redskins have a defense and they ain't gonna be asking Fitz to do too much. Now this could backfire on them too now because they ain't gonna ask him to do too much. Which in saying he'll probably come in trying to do too much, feeling like he got to make a big splash. And I'm telling you, Fitzy, just manage the game, dude. That defense is good enough to get you to the playoffs. All you need to do is make few plays a game, no turnovers. If you turn that ball over, you're going to kill the Redskins season, man. But if you come in and just be solid and stable at that QB position, the sky's the limit for the Redskins in that division. Because I don't know what the Cowboys going to do in Dak. The Eagles still a work in progress with Jalen Hurts. The Giants, no faith in matter of fact, their quarterback is now my least favorite quarterback in the division now. And you still got Barkley coming back off of injury. So there's no really telling what the Giants gonna do. So I do like the Fitzpatrick move that'll possibly have the Redskins winning that division again.
All right, Coach, what are your thoughts about the Red Rifle? Andy Dalton leaving the Cowboys, going to Chicago as their plan B when their hopes to get Russell Wilson fell short.
That's
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Is interesting because, well, first of all, Dalton knew the writing was on the wall when they got Dak, so he knew he had to get out of there. They don't need him staying in Dallas. But Dalton has come in and made the statement that they told him he's the starting quarterback. Really, Andy? You just jump right in over Nick Foles and you starting quarterback? I'm anxious to see how that's going to play out. I mean, Chicago is not going to make any big noise. They got that defense, but offensively, I mean, Dalton is not a top 50 quarterback. I don't know why I ain't going to say top 50 because there's only a few quarterbacks. He's not a great quarterback anymore. He just gets out there. He's a good game manager. He doesn't go overboard, but he's not going to be the key to lead Chicago. And for him to say he's the starting quarterback and he hadn't played a down, we'll see about that.
Do you think he just said that, or do you think they actually told him that as they were trying to pursue him in free agency?
I can believe they probably told him in free agency because I don't think they trust Nick Foles. And Trubisky has gone to the Bills, which I don't know why he just going to sit there and hold the clipboard.
That's why. He get paid for holding the clipboard. He won't be scrutinized. He got enough scrutiny in Chicago.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him.
I would have took him in Atlanta though.
Who?
Mitch.
I don't know about
That's the
that.
back.
I don't know.
We don't have no backup right now. So anybody better than what we got, which is zero.
Well, Mitch Trubisky could go to Buffalo right now as a backup because you got to remember my boy Josh Allen is not getting paid right now. So they don't have a lot of money that's being thrown at him because he's
right. I forgot he ain't got that big payday yet.
Right. He's still playing on his rookie contract. But once he starts making that $40 million, that's coming up real soon. In about a year or two, they can't afford paying a $2 and $3 million, $4 million for somebody to hold the clipboard. We got a dude who's making $30 million here. So that's why you just can't have somebody like Mitch Trubisky just making millions of dollars while holding the clipboard, even though they did that with Matt Schaub for a couple of years.
We need somebody making millions sitting behind this clown, but we'll get into that later.
Coach, real quickly now, you're in the AFC. What do you think about, as Joe Black brought up, New England being on that shopping spree?
Who the quarterback?
I don't know.
Cam Newton.
Now, one thing about New England, Belichick ain't no fool, and he went out and got a lot of players. Plus, those guys are opting back in, hopefully this year, which is gonna make them look pretty decent. You know, Patrick Chung retired. That's gonna hurt them on the defensive end, but they getting those guys back. I still don't think they got enough to overcome Buffalo to win in AFCs. I think Buffalo is the new king of the AFCs. And I don't think New England has enough. Maybe New England might be maybe a fringe wild card team, but because I don't know what they did on offense. I mean, they got
they got two tight ends. They got Smith from the Tennessee Titans, and they got Hunter from the Los Angeles Chargers. So it looks like that they're trying to go back to the offense where they had a lot of success when they had Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez being on the same field at the same time a majority of the snaps. So it looks like they're trying to reinvent that again.
I'm sure everybody, as long as Aaron Hernandez, let me stop. Nope, not going there. But yeah, I think they're a friend wild card team. I don't know. Cam, this is your chance to that incentive-laden contract and try to revitalize yourself and show that if you have the right players, you can do some damage. But it's all on you, my brother. I don't see him being a Super Bowl contender.
Now, one of the things is I will say I like the moves by getting those two tight ends because Cam does not do an exceptionally good job throwing the ball downfield. He can do well throwing the ball in the middle to tight ends. So that's going to make him a better passer because he doesn't have to worry about trying to hit people with long passes, which is not his strength. He's not the most accurate quarterback. But let's remember, when he was playing at his peak level with the Carolina Panthers, who was his top target? Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen was his top target. So they are putting him in a better position for him to succeed now that he has not only one good tight end to throw to, but two good tight ends as well. Joe Black wants to say he's loving the line at San Francisco that they're building. And we know they're
don't expect New England to have another sorry seed. I think they're going to be back. That AFC East going to be a division to be reckoned with. And depending on what the Jets do in the draft, then you got Miami, and you got Robert Saleh with the Jets. He going to have them playing more physical, more competent football. So don't be surprised if the AFC East be one of the toughest divisions in the NFL this upcoming season. You heard it here first.
All right, well, nobody been predicting the Jets to do anything. So if they do something, you will definitely be the first that we have to give credit to because I don't even think the Jets are giving themselves credit to do anything next year. Joe Black.
They're going to be playing more physical with Robert Saleh as head coach.
All right, here's a Falcons question real quickly. Joe Black says just waiting on the Falcons to sign a running back and some DBs. Red, I'll ask you a question. I asked you the question, will they seek to meet those needs in the draft?
And I will answer. Well, with the move they just made to restructure Matt contract, that's exactly the move I need them to make now. I need them to trade down and draft Najee Harris. That's the guy I decided I want. I want Najee Harris in a Falcon uniform next season to go along with Arthur Smith and that offense. And if he think he can get whatever you got to get out of Matt Ryan, I guess you better do it. But you're gonna need it. You got to have a running game. You ain't getting nothing out of Matt Ryan without no consistent running game, little Artie. I'm telling you that right now. So you better fix up that offensive line. You better grab Najee. Coach shaking your head with Najee. Go after ETN. Go after a running back. Some running back in the draft that's gonna be solid. Honestly, Coach, I don't care who it is. Just as long as a running back, they got plenty of wear on that tires to take some pressure off of Matt. Real talk, Rev and Coach, we the Falcons need a version of Terrell Davis. And I mean right now. I mean, if you got any hope, if you want to get anything left out of Matt Ryan in these next 3 years, you better get some version of Terrell Davis up in here, or it's gonna be a long 3 years. solidify that offensive line, possibly grab another cornerback. Definitely need a safety. And I think that's about it, right? Oh, you definitely need 2 edge rushers. So those are the goals. Free agency or draft, but definitely the draft. Say it one more time. Running back, 2 edge rushers, a cornerback, an offensive lineman, and a safety. I'm done.
All right. And the Falcons just signed a safety 2 days ago. Eric Harris, who played for the Las Vegas Raiders. They just signed him 2 days ago.
You might want to draft another one because we giving up Neil and we giving up Casey. So we're gonna have another spot open. So you probably want to draft another one. Unless they're gonna sign another one. And you might want to think about bringing one of those guys. You might want to think about bringing one of those guys they cut back just on a reduced salary.
All right, we'll see about that. And also, there was a report on one of these sites that Keanu Neal is actually thinking about becoming a linebacker. So we'll see what about that.
What?
Becoming a linebacker. All right, Coach.
Come on back.
Coach, real quickly, you shook your head when Red was talking about Harris being drafted or picked up by the Atlanta Falcons as a running back. You shook your head on that. Why were you shaking your head, sir?
If they fall behind the Steelers, Harris won't be available. Depending on where they pick, Harris won't be available. Steelers are taking him in the first round. But
what y'all picking? What number? What number?
24.
Coach, we would have been on made our pick by then. 24.
If you stay at 4, you gonna pick him?
No, I said trade down.
But that's what I'm saying. Where are you gonna be? Who you
gonna... I'm saying trade down between 8 and 15 or something. I'm just saying. I ain't saying trade down no 24 now. I'm saying trade. You right. You can't pick them at number 4, but you can pick them between 8 and 15, and I'll be okay with it. But not at number 4. You're right.
Oh. So you need a running back, so he's there. You wouldn't get him at 4?
That's just not good value pick it that high. Not at that high. So, I mean, if you can trade back and get some additional picks in addition to getting the guy that you want, why not do that? I mean, I wouldn't pick them at 4. I trade back, get some extra picks because we got some holes to fill, and you still get the guy you need.
Coach, last comment.
I don't know that. I mean, I would try to get something more picks. Yeah, that's smart, but I don't know if you take the risk of him not being there.
As long as we don't fall that far back. Like I said, it's teams that I've heard that they talking to that's right around the area where he'll be available. Now, I ain't talking about dropping all the way back to like 20 and beyond, but just from number 4 to from number 4 to between 8 and 15 is fine with me because that'll be right where he'll be available. And then you can have some additional picks to get. You're going to have to, you definitely need another quarterback. So you're probably going to have to draft another quarterback. So that's why we're going to need the additional picks. In addition to the 2 edge rushers, the offensive lineman, and the safety and cornerback. So that's why I say, Falcons really need to trade back.
Real quickly.
I ain't trying. If you stay at number 4, you're going to have to take the offensive lineman, or you're going to have to draft one of those quarterbacks. And why would you draft one of those quarterbacks and have him sitting on the bench for 2+ years because you restructured Matt Ryan contract?
All right, real quickly, do you take Pitts at number 4?
The tight end?
From Florida.
Not at number 4. Trade back for him too.
Okay, and real quickly as we close, do you think that Travis Etienne would be a good pick for the Falcons if by chance they can't get Harris from Alabama?
Yeah. Etienne or Harris, but not at number 4. I'll take either one of those running backs, but not at number 4.
All right. Last question, and we're going to go to You Have the Right and put a bow on this show. You made reference to it a couple of times. How do you feel about the Falcons restructuring Matt Ryan's contract and also Dante Fowler's contract?
I'm not happy about restructuring Matt's contract, but I can't say I'm really surprised. As somebody in the organization that loves this sorry, you know what quarterback, for some ungodly reason, I have no idea why. So it is what it is. But we got an offensive minded coach. Hopefully they can draft a running back and more weapons to take pressure off of him, because we all know he ain't nothing unless he have a whole Pro Bowl team around him. So that's if you want to keep Matt Ryan, you better start putting these Pro Bowls around him, because that's the only way he worked anything. As far as Dante Fowler, that was the right move to do. He know he isn't living up to the contract, and he knew if he didn't do that, he was gonna get cut possibly. So thank you for doing that. We need the space. Now try to make some plays for us this year, some impactful plays for my defense, or else you're gonna be gone for good after this year.
Well, I think the Falcons have basically all but suggested to us that there will not be a quarterback taken in the first round, because the Falcons have so many holes on other parts of their roster. They can't really afford to draft a quarterback who will sit for 2 years. They got to plug in the holes for some other positions that they have. So this is why the quarterback talk is done. It's clear that Arthur Blank must want all the value that he put into Matt Ryan, and he doesn't want to take any salary cap hits. So therefore, he must have made an executive order that we're going to get every penny out of Matt Ryan, which will probably result into more mediocre seasons coming ahead, and then seeing me root more and more for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, Coach, you got any closing words on this free agency topic?
About Justin Fields. A lot of movement, that's for sure. A lot of moving pieces went around. Now, one that I just want to see, and it's like I said, the one I was more impressed with, not so much impressed, but needed, was Fitzgerald with Washington, because Alex Smith is not coming back. You lost Haskins, and the guy, I forgot the guy's name, he's not going to be able to get you anywhere. Fitzgerald has proven that he can actually do some kind of winning, and although not a lot, I mean, he's better than what you had. So that, and I'm impressed, unfortunately, with Tampa Bay, who seemed to keep everything that they had people thought they would lose, but Tampa Bay managed to maneuver and keep all their pieces in place, so they still gonna be dangerous next season.
Jump in here right quick. Joe Black made a reference. You lost Dupree. How you feel about that? Bud Dupree, that's Coach's dog. He went to the Tennessee Titans.
What is going on with you today, Joe Black? Coach Day or something? I promoted your business. I talked well about you. You trying to attack me, sir? No. You look at that.
It's so perfect.
That's gonna hurt, but you look at what they bring up. Highsmith is gonna be the one that they look to fill in. Plus, you get Bush back. Devin Bush comes back. So Dupree, and that's gonna sting but Highsmith and Bush, one of them is gonna have to get in there and take Dupree's place. I kind of didn't want to think that Dupree was gonna leave, but the closer it got, and the salary cap issue, the worse it got, and he made his decision to go to Tennessee. So good luck to him there. But hopefully we can fill those in. But we got a couple big fish to fry next year as far as signing.
You're the Steelers, Coach. Y'all find somebody to replace him. Don't worry. I don't know why you be so worried, man. You the Steelers. You ain't like the Falcons or anything. We lose the player, we really got to worry.
Yeah,
you the Pittsburgh Steelers, dude. Y'all replace guys, all these Hall of Fame players, all pro players, year after year after year. I wish we had the history that y'all have. I don't know why you so down, Coach. Don't worry. You lose Bud Dupree, you'll find another GM in the rough.
Yeah, I can't argue with that assessment, because the Steelers definitely noted for great personnel.
Year
good
after year. I
vision.
don't know where they get these players from.
Yeah. So that's a good call on you, Rick.
Real talk. I didn't know who Joey Porter was till he started showing. I don't know who half these guys. I don't know who Claypool was. I don't know who half these guys are until they start making plays for the Steelers, man. Where did Juju Schuster come from?
USC.
Where did Antonio Brown come from?
Yeah. I mean, y'all do have a history of making great decisions and developing players. So your losing a player doesn't nearly have the kind of effect that the Falcons have when they lose players, and then also when they gain players because they can't develop them like the Steelers. Yeah, so we up the creek.
Exactly.
All right, let's close it out, gentlemen. You have the right to do what, when, where, and how. Who wants at it first?
I had something to say, but anyway. Hawks, you got the right to keep the winning streak going tonight. The Lakers don't need this win as much as you do. If the Lakers win, it'll be no big deal. They just beat another inferior team. But the Hawks, if you beat the Lakers today, you will get much props. You're beating the world champs. Can't nobody say you didn't beat nobody in this little string because you would have beaten the world champs and you would have beaten the Heat, both of the teams that was in last year's NBA Finals. So Hawks, you have the imperative right to win today over my Lakers. That's right. I'm cheering for you to beat my Lakers today. Not often I cheer for the Lakers to lose, but just for this game, Hawk. Come on, show Rev that this streak ain't no fluke, man. You win against Lakers today, and I got a feeling even Rev may say, "Good job, Hawks." I'm impressed.
All right, Coach, who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
Joe Black, are you paying attention? Listen, I want you to have the right, Joe Black, to include some kind of rice in your meal when we come down there into Jacksonville. You had a right to cook a good meal. I have no doubt you will, but hey, I'm getting ready for this meal.
Oh man, Coach, I thought you was gonna hit him with a Pulp Fiction reference. Oh man, you scared me for a minute.
All right, and I'm looking at a score. It's looking real bad for Georgetown. Georgetown, you have a right to make this game competitive.
Yeah.
They're getting blown out by 24 points in the first half. 47-23 at halftime.
Yeah, they're getting boat raced.
Yeah,
so Georgetown lose?
Yeah, they're getting killed by Colorado. So you have the right now to make this game competitive because that would be terrible to win the Big East and then get boat race to end your season. Yeah. All right.
Come on, you.
Vincent Woodruff said, Mark Emmert, you have the right to do right by those female athletes while they're in San Antonio. Can't disagree with you about that. Yeah. Well, everybody, we thank you so much for watching episode 181. We'll be back next week with episode 182, same time, same Facebook page. If you enjoyed the show, tell somebody about the show. If you can, put somebody on so that they can like the Red and Rev Sports Show Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or even our Periscope channel. Everybody, have a blessed week. Enjoy some March Madness. Look forward to talking some more sports talk next Saturday morning, 11 o'clock. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Did we get a closing comment?
Thomas.
Breaking news, the OWN Network will show its first 40 minutes. Thank you so much, Vincent Woodruff. Thank you so much.
Right.
Y'all have a great weekend.